Hi, my name is Amy Mazzi and I'm with Centurion Boats, and today I'm going to walk you through the all-new 2025 Fe23. This boat is fearlessly evolved and I'm going to tell you all about why. You know the new Fe23 means business just by getting a look at it. This wide bow is mean looking and it means performance. And you've got that in the Fe23, both surfing, wakeboarding, and rough water ride type of performance. But this looks the part. It doesn't just do what we think it should. It also has an amazing available docking light system. This system is 2,400 lumens a light, 4,800 lumens a side. What does that mean? It's gonna light up your life on and off the water. The all-new chiseled windshield for the Fe23 looks like it was made to go with this boat because it was. It complements the style of this Fe23 amazingly, but it also has the model designator chiseled into the side, so you know without a doubt this windshield was made to go with this boat. You also have gator step that is on the exterior of the Fe23. As an option, you can have it in 2 layers, 3 layers, and a number of beautiful schemes, so you can further customize the look of your Fe23. The power of the Fe23 is definitely its performance. A lot of that with a Centurion, because we are a surf boat manufacturer, starts with surfing, starts with ballast. And the ballast in this boat can be as much as 5,250 pounds. What does that do? That creates displacement. But in a lot of our competitors, you're waiting for sometimes as much as 15 minutes for all of that ballast to fill. Well, not with the Centurion Fe23. You have nearly half of that ballast in your ram fill system, which is optional in this boat, and it fills in 90 seconds when you're underway. You fill up everything if you have all of the ballast installed in this boat, and it takes about 4.5 minutes, and you are riding while it's filling. Yes, it's that easy, it's that fast, because it's a Centurion. We talk about the functionality of Centurions in general, but specifically the FE series. This is a purpose-built series. It is made for those weekend warriors who take their water sports warrioring all week long. And we want it to be as convenient as possible for you to do anything and everything you need to do when you are using the Fe23. That includes filling up the fuel. You can fill the fuel on this boat on either side. So no matter which side your tow vehicle fills on, we've got you covered. And it has a great size fuel tank, but is extremely economical on fuel. So you don't have to worry about going back and forth to the fuel station multiple times during a weekend even. This boat has you covered and the performance is built in. You've also got amazing functionality with pull-up cleats so you can tie yourself off to the dock easily. We also have available bumper cleats that allow you to plug in a Centurion branded bumper and protect the exterior of your boat from meeting the dock. You've got all of that functionality built in because this boat is made for water sports and for you to spend as much worry-free time on the water as possible. As we move towards the corner of the Fe23, you start to see what's going on the transom of this boat, and it's a lot. There's an available quick surf system that harnesses the water that is displaced by the ballast that we talked about earlier and utilizes the Opti-V hull to create an amazing surf wave. And when you disengage the quick surf, you create an amazing symmetrical wakeboard wake. How does that happen? Well, it starts with the Opti-V. It's optimized with 2 triangles that are flat. We call them lifting triangles on the rear corners of the boat. And the point of those triangles extend all the way up to the tower, at least to that level on the running surface of the boat. What does that give you? It gives you balance from side to side. What does that give you behind the boat? It gives you a symmetrical wakeboard wake, or if you have quick surf engaged, it gives you a surf wave on either side, goofy or regular, that gives you identical waves. So you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, behind this boat. The Opti-V also gives you a great rough water ride. You have 20 degrees of dead rise at the transom, which is double our nearest competitor, and that absorbs the shock of rough water and allows the boat to run with a very level attitude through the water. So the most aggressive part of the V that's under the bow is actually cutting through the chop. So you can be sitting in the bow, in the driver's seat, in the back of the boat, and have a smooth ride. This boat does it all, but it all starts with the Opti-V. As we move around to the transom of the Fe23, you start to realize there's a bunch going on the underside of this swim step. But probably the most important thing to talk about is the Silent Stinger wake plate. What the wake plate does is adjust the running attitude of the boat. But this Silent Stinger wake plate takes things even further as far as functionality in the Fe23. This plate actually dampens the noise of the engine and allows you to have inside voice conversations on the inside of the boat. It does that by forcing water into the plate when the boat is underway, and that water tumbles through a series of baffles with the exhaust coming from the engine, and it dampens the noise of the engine. But the plate itself also adjusts the running attitude of the Fe23. So I can allow this boat to level out, in other words, take the nose down by adjusting that wake plate, or I can allow the nose to come up and get more of the rear of the boat into the water, depending on what I'm doing. It can change the shape of my surf wave, it can change the shape of my wakeboard wake, and it can help me adjust when the water is rough on the lake and I need to get the most aggressive part of the V under the bow, cutting through the chop. The Silent Stinger wake plate is extreme functionality. That's why we have so many patents on it. As I step up onto the swim step of the Fe23, I start to realize this is such a cool boat. The design of the gator step alone on the swim step is really, really cool. This is the Fearless cut 2-layer on this particular boat, and you've got 15 different color choices on each layer. This one is impeccably designed. I love the way it looks, but the swim step also has some function to it. It has rocker built into it and handles built into it, so I can pull myself, yes, even me, up onto the swim step with ease. You also have a lot of storage options at the back of the Fe23. I have this trunk here, and you have an available ballast bag that can go in this trunk, but I can also put stuff on top of that bag, or I can forego the bag altogether because it's a quick connect. So I can take it in and out very easily. I can also put my shoes away in the gunnel storage, which is very unique to the Fe series. I can twist, make sure my shoes never touch the interior of the boat, and we're all good to go. Then I can hang out back here. I've got cup holders, I've got stereo controls, I've even got optional lean backs, which this particular boat doesn't have, but I've got amazing comfort and accommodation even before I get in to the Fe23. This convenient walkover allows you to step into your Fe23 and not have to step on your upholstery. It's even got a step down, a fiberglass step down with the non-skid on it, so I can step down onto my cushion and not hurt it. And really, this interior is fairly resilient anyway, but it still gives you peace of mind being able to step down into this 23-foot boat. Now, this boat has room for 14 people, and once you step down into it, you start to understand where they would all sit. This is a big boat, and it accommodates a ton, and in comfort. So it's not just the look of the Fe23 interior that is striking, but the functionality and the longevity of this interior. It's extremely strong and resilient. Why, you ask? Because of how it's made. It is spradling vinyl with a 17 mil top coat, and it is sewn together with Teflon stitching. Yes, it is tough, and this stitching comes in French seam or half stitch, which a French seam is sewn 3 times, a half stitch is sewn twice. You will be hard pressed to find an area of this interior where it's one single stitch holding 2 pieces of vinyl together. Why? Because that's not strong. This interior is extremely strong, but extremely beautiful and customizable at the same time. So you have 16 different colors of vinyl that you can choose from for the main, the base, the accent, and the welt on this particular interior. And you've got 2 different textures. Hex, which is what this boat happens to have, all hex, and you've got our typical Comfort Strong, our flatter textured vinyl. Either way, you can customize this to look any way you want, and it's going to last forever. When we talk about the accommodation on the interior of the Fe23, it's obvious. You've got cup holders galore, you have speakers, and in this case 8-inch Wet Sounds interior speakers as a part of the Hero system by Wet Sounds, and you have power points to plug in a phone. You've also got storage underneath every cushion, and in the Fe series you get the friction storage mat. So when you open up a storage area, you've got this great no-slip mat, so I can stuff stuff in there, and as we're going on the lake, all my stuff doesn't go towards the back of the boat when we're underway. We've thought of a lot of this because we ourselves use the boats, and we've run into those challenges in the past, but you will not have any challenges in the Fe23. So just like many of the other areas of the Fe23, you can customize the look of the floor. The non-skid or gator step has different color choices on each layer. In this particular boat, we have a 2-layer Fearless cut. You can also get a 3-layer Fearless cut. You can get a 3-layer Salute to Service design, or you can get a 3-layer Warrior design. And then you can customize the color on each of those layers, and there are 15 color choices. In this particular case, it looks like we have shark fin on the top and silver cloud on the bottom. It complements the color scheme of this boat perfectly. It's beautiful, and it can be all you. The standard tower on the Centurion Fe23 is the Battle Advanced Tower by Roswell. This tower looks great on the boat. It's extremely strong and easy to fold down. I can fold it down all by myself, even with all of these optional components on the tower. It's really easy. And it's all because there's a contraption built into the foot of this tower that takes all of the weight off of it, so I can easily bring it down and put it back up. You may notice that there are a lot of options on this tower. I've got colored shields, which are an option on this tower. I have the Hero stereo system by Wet Sounds on this tower. I have the So Long Bimini. It's SCW, but it's really long, and it covers almost the entire interior in the Fe23. And I have the Bombshell racks. Now these racks are really cool because they have 3 positions. They can be out, they can be facing completely back. When you're towing, this is great because it keeps the bugs and the dirt from towing off of these racks. Or you can swivel them all the way in to load as wide as a 23-inch surfboard in these racks. And these racks are specifically made to caress your surfboard. They are not going to hurt it. They're not going to create a pinch point or a pressure point that will dent that board that I'm sure you paid a lot of money for and is customized just for you. So these racks are made to accommodate that precious cargo. We talk about the fearless evolution of the Fe series from Centurion. It's because this series is purpose-built. It's built for those water sports warriors who are out at the lake as much as they possibly can when the weather permits. And these boats offer amazing performance behind them, but they're also purposeful with driver performance. And when it comes to the driver, we want to make sure he or she is comfortable, but also that they have the control that they need. One of the things that's standard this year for the Fe series is the Cobra racing seat. The Cobra seat is a high back seat that gives you a lot of support when you're sitting in front of the steering wheel. But it also gives you the ability to throw a leg over, check on your rider, conversate with everybody in the lounge, and you don't have to swivel the seat to do that. It's kind of comfortable this way. But if you prefer to swivel, we can do that too. You can swivel around, have a conversation with your observer, or even participate here in the lounge a little bit better. It's made to comfort and add performance to the driving experience of the Fe23. We talk about the benefit that the Centurion Fe23 offers to the rider, to the driver, but what about the observer? Well, the observer's area is pretty beneficial as well. We've got cup holders, actually 3 to count them, and we've got a speaker right here for the observer, a handle for them to hold on to. We also have amazing cavernous storage. We've got specific storage for things like optional lean backs for our slide seat. And then we have a trash chute that's here in the walkthrough that the observer or really anybody else can access. You've also got a glove box that has a battery management system in it that can help you isolate your batteries between your house battery that runs your stereo and your lights and your engine cranking battery. That way you can go into a cove, hang out with family and friends, be listening to your tunes, even showing off your lights, and still have a battery ready to get you back to the dock when you're ready to go. You also have a PDM breaker panel in the glove box, which allows you access to all of your PDMs in one spot. It's an extremely functional and beneficial area of the boat, even for the observer. The benefit that the Fe23 provides to the driver is really unmatched. You have everything at your fingertips, and I can access almost all of it without losing sight of the water in front of me. I can use my sport shifters to adjust my Silent Stinger wake plate with my left hand or my set speed with my right hand. I never have to take my eyes off the water to do that. I also have my phone at the ready with this wireless clamping cell phone holder, which is an option as well. And this year, standard, I have my Wet Sound stereo face mounted right on the dash. So I have control, even with a knob, of my volume. Where that becomes important is coming back around to pick up a rider, I can quickly turn the music down and be able to hear and understand what's going on with my fallen rider. I love that functionality. I also have the Evo touchscreen, which gives me control over almost every system in the boat very easily, very intuitively. And I have this cool little cubby where I can put anything that I don't want rolling around in a big storage area in this boat. Also, the dash of this particular boat is very low, and it allows me to see over it even in a fully seated position without the bolster up. The Fe23 doesn't have a lot of bow rise anyway, so I don't have to stand up or sit on my knees to actually see over the bow of this boat, but this low dash helps that benefit. I've got all of that. I've got this performance steering wheel as well, and this feels like a sports car and allows me to handle this boat like I'm a sports car driver. The Fe23 also has an in-floor ice chest, and this ice chest is easily accessible pretty much by anyone, but especially the observer or the driver can open this with ease. And while you can use this to chill down your drinks or your snacks for a day on the water, you can also use it for dry storage. But this is really accessible, and I don't have to ask somebody to move to access it. So the Fe23, like every other Centurion boat, is a walk-through open bow. What does that mean? It means I can walk through the helm of the boat to get to the bow. But in a lot of other boats, you have to kind of shimmy through sideways. In this one, no chance. I can walk through easily. I can get in comfortably. And now I'm in the bow where I have it set up as a playpen right now. So I have the optional filler cushion in. And once I'm here, I've got everything I need. I've got my tunes, I've got my cup holders, I've got PowerPoints to charge my phone, and I've also got the amazing rough water ride of the Fe23's Opti-V hull. I've got everything I need for an amazing day on the water, and yes, even sitting in the bow. Thanks for taking the time to watch the walkthrough of the all-new 2025 Centurion Fe23. This boat is fearless evolution at its best. It does what we need it to do and nothing more. And this is a purpose-built Centurion, and it's made for the purpose of your joy and entertainment behind, in, or driving this boat. If you don't believe me, please visit your local Centurion Boats dealer and let us prove it to you on the water today.